Hello everyone, my name is Pengwen. I'm a visiting PhD student from China, Tianjin University. Today I'm very glad to share our recent work with you. The title is To Cooperate or Not Product Upgrading Strategy in a Competitive Display Market. This work is joined with Hilbert Pan and Boley. Our work is mainly motivated by the cooperation between two competing firms. For example, Amazon released its first version of smart speaker Echo 1 in 2012 with its voice assistant Alexa. And then Microsoft wanted to enter the market. Instead of competing each other to develop their products independently, they chose cooperate to develop the critical component voice assistant Alexa for Amazon and Cortana for Microsoft. And then in 2017, they released the new generation of smart speaker, Echo 2 and Invoke, respectively. The other example is between Linux and Windows. Linux released the first version of open source software operating system in 1994. Recently, Microsoft wanted to move into the open source environment. They chose to innovate their systems more compatible with one another. That means Linux customers can operate Windows and vice versa. With Ubuntu for Windows and SQL Server for Linux. From these two examples, we can find that if the two competing firms choose to cooperate to develop the products, they may save the research cost, but at the same time, the customers may perceive the two products more similar. That means the product differentiation of the two firms will decrease, and then the competition will be intensified. So, the firms may the two firms may face a difficult trade-off between cost saving and product differentiation decreasing. To address this concern, we set this project as follows. We consider an industry consists of an incumbent and entrant. They are competing in two periods. The incumbent chooses cooperation or not and decides the innovation effort and the prices in each period. The entrant enters at the beginning of the second period and decides accept the cooperation strategy or not, and then decides the innovation effort and the price for its product. The customers will decide whether or not to buy in each period, and in the second period, when market entrant enters the market, they will decide which product to buy. We will mainly address the following questions. Firstly, we will identify under what situations the two firms will choose cooperation and will not. And then we will explore the impacts of customer valuation and the product differentiation on the firm's pricing, innovation efforts, cooperation strategy, and so on. Finally, when we consider the customers as strategic, we will explore the impact of customer strategy behavior on firms' optimal decisions. The first stream of literature is about firms' upgrading strategy. This shows that the firms have incentives to upgrade their products to satisfy the customers' diverse demands. But we consider a dynamic competition, and we consider that the two competing firms may have incentive to cooperate to develop their products. The other stream literature is about product innovation and quality design literature, which is similar to that the upgrading strategy. The main difference is that we consider the collaboration strategy between the two competing firms. The other stream literature is about the collaboration between two competing firms. This shows that when the two competing firms choose cooperation, they can save the research cost, elevate the price competition, and so on. We can start a two-period game, and also we can start the incumbent strategy behavior confronting with the entrant, and also we can start the customer strategy behavior on the optimal decisions. Finally, our work also relates to the new firm entry problem. In these papers, they show that the incumbent may choose to decrease the price, decrease the advertisement to deter the entrant to enter the market. But we can see that the incumbent and the entrant may choose to cooperate to develop their new products. So now I will show you the mathematical model. We consider that the incumbent will define firm I in the following. It sells a product in two periods. And at the end of the first period, the entrant will define firm E in the following. Firm E will enter the market, and then the two firms will decide cooperate or not to develop the new generation of products. If they choose no cooperation, they will decide the innovation effort EG respectively. G denotes firm I or firm E, and incurs cost EG squared. If they choose cooperation, they will jointly decide one common innovation effort E and incur a cost E squared. We assume the two firms will share the innovation cost equally. So it needs to notice that if the two firms choose cooperation, the customers will perceive the two products more similar because of they use one critical component or the similar critical component. So the product differentiation between the two firms will decrease. That means the competition will be intensified. We normalize the customers uniformly distributed in a straight line, and we also use Hotelier model to capture the horizontal differentiation between the two firms. When the customer valuation for firm I is lambda I, then the one customer who buys firm I's product in period 1 will obtain the utility UI1 as the customer valuation lambda I minus its location X and minus the price PI1. If they choose no cooperation, the two firms will decide E and EE independently. That denotes the discount utility when one customer buys the product in the second period. If they choose cooperation, the two firms will jointly decide one common innovation effort E. That means EI is equal to EE. And most importantly, if the two firms choose cooperation, that means that the distance between the two firms or the product differentiation between the two firms will decrease. We define each will change from 1 to 1 minus alpha E. We define the distance under cooperation situation is 1 minus alpha E, means when the two efforts pay more effort, the distance will become more closer. They will become closer and the product differentiation will be less. This figure shows the market segmentation. So the firm I is located at 0 and the firm E is located at omega. If they choose no cooperation, the distance between the two firms is 1, and if they choose cooperation, the distance will change from 1 to 1 minus alpha E. DI1 means that customers who buy firm I's product in period 1, and similarly we can obtain DI2 and DE2. We normalize the unit production cost is 0, then we can obtain the profit functions easily. It needs to notice that if they choose cooperation, they will share the innovation cost equally. This is the game sequence. Firstly, in period 1, firm I will decide the price PI1 and demand for period 1 is realized. Secondly, at the beginning of the second period, the firm E enters the market, and then the two firms will choose cooperation or not. Thirdly, if the two firms choose cooperation, they will decide a common innovation effort E jointly. And if they choose no cooperation, they will decide innovation effort independently. Finally, independent of whether they choose cooperation or not, they will decide the price for their products independently in period 2. And then the demand for period 2 is realized. Using the backward induction, we can derive the model. I want to emphasize that the firm I will choose PI1 to maximize his total profit in the first period, subject to the cooperation strategy in period 2. The function is like this. This is the constraint in period 2. Then we can obtain the equilibrium solution. It can be divided into 3 regions. In region 1, the two firms will choose cooperation and no constraint is binding. In region 2, the two firms will choose cooperation, but the constraint for firm E to accept the cooperation strategy is binding. In region 3, the two firms choose no cooperation. Lambda I is coming from the indifference line that firm I choose cooperation or no cooperation. Lambda 2 is coming from the binding constraint for firm E to accept the cooperation strategy. Lambda 3 guarantees that all our prices and demands are positive. So from this figure, we can obtain 2 important conclusions. Firstly, the two firms can achieve cooperation, and if the customer valuation for the two products is similar. And the second, when the customer valuation for firm E is higher than that of firm I, firm I may choose to adjust its prices to induce firm E to cooperate with him. Through sensitive analysis, we can obtain some interesting results. This figure shows the impact of customer valuation on firm E on the firm's decisions. One might imagine that when customer valuation on firm E is increasing, firm I may decrease its prices to attract more customers. But interestingly, we find that when firm I finds it can gain benefit from cooperation, it will increase its prices to induce the firm E to cooperate with him. And then he will increase the price. In addition, we find that the profits of firm E may decrease. The profit of firm E may decrease when its customer valuation is increasing. That means when lambda is large enough, the firm I may find it's not profitable for him to sacrifice his profits to induce firm E to cooperate with him, and then they will change from cooperation to no cooperation, and then the profit of firm E will decrease. This figure shows the product differentiation on firms' optimal decisions. One might imagine that when the product differentiation is decreasing, the two firms will decrease their prices to protect their profits. But we find that when the two firms find it can when the two firms find the gain from cooperation outweighs the loss from product differentiation decreasing, they will increase their prices with the product differentiation decreasing, and then achieve the cooperation strategy. And also, we find that the firm E's the profit of firm E may increase when the product differentiation is decreasing. In this section, we assume the customers are strategic. The main difference between strategic customer and myopia customer is that except choose to whether or not to buy, which product to buy, the strategic customers will choose when to buy. So in this figure, we can find that the customers will choose to buy firm I's product in period 1, and if its utility is greater than that of in period 2. We can find in this figure like here. For these customers, they will buy the product, but they will wait to buy the product in the second period, like here. Similarly, we can obtain the equilibrium solution, and it also can be divided into 3 regions. And also, we find that the explanation of customer valuation lambda is the same with above. That means the two firms can achieve cooperation, and if the customer valuation for the two products is similar, and when the customer valuation of firm E is higher than that of firm I may adjust its price to induce firm E to cooperate with him. This figure shows the impact of customer strategy behavior on firms' optimal decisions. One might imagine that when customers becoming more patient, the insurance may increase its price, and its profit may increase. But interestingly, we find that when dirt is increasing, the insurance may decrease its price, and its profit may also decrease. That's because when dirt is increasing, the firm I may decrease its prices to attract more customers, and then the firm E's profit may decrease. In addition, we find that when the customers are becoming more patient, the customer surplus may decrease. That's because when dirt is increasing, the two firms will change from no cooperation to cooperation, and the price may increase. So the customer utility may decrease, and then the customer surplus may decrease. Thank you. That's all.